Yay!
How
Hello.
are you?
I'm good. How are you? You look
Good.
stunning.
Oh, thank you. How's your?
Just got a, I heard you just got off a boat, so you had a nice kind of little vacation on the boat.
I had a little vacation, yes.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So
Yeah.
Jasmine, tell me, this beautiful cover that you did for us. Tell me about that whole experience of this
Oh
beautiful
my
cover shoot
gosh.
that you did.
I love it. It was so beautiful. I was actually my first time shooting with EIC, so I was very excited to work with him, and he was like so easy to work with, and just like everyone was a pleasure. The makeup was beautiful, the hair was beautiful, and I think just like the overall theme of the whole shoot was really nice, and it just really gave you this calm and beautiful feeling. So I loved it.
Tell us a little bit of the story about how you were discovered. Now, earlier I had a little pre-show chat with you, Sai,
Yeah.
and Jason Wu jumped in, and
Oh, I
he
love
said
Jason Wu.
that Jason's amazing and we love him. And he said that you did his first runway show in 2011. That was your very first show on a runway. So
Yeah, that
that's
was a long
amazing.
time ago.
You were like 12, you were
Yeah,
like not even 12.
basically. Basically. But
Now,
yeah,
how did you sort of get discovered? How did the whole experience sort of happen for you as a model?
so for the longest time since I can remember, like as a little girl, I always wanted to be a model. Like there was honestly nothing else that I wanted to do. So growing up, my mom was a celebrity fashion stylist, like on sets for
Yes.
movies and TV shows and like different cover photo shoots and things like that. So I would always be with her and kind of like be her little assistant. So I kind of got to see a behind the scenes look at what it's like to be on a photo set or on like a TV set or anything like that. And one day actually I was shopping with her at a showroom, and one of the ladies in the showroom was like, oh my gosh, you have to send Jasmine to my friend in New York at IMG. Like they would love her. So I flew to New York, met with the agency,
Right.
and the rest is kind of history. I moved to New York when I was like 17, 18. And yeah, that was it. Then I just started working.
Oh, wow. And, how did you first react when you learned in 2012 that you'd be walking the VS fashion show?
Oh my gosh, that was like the number one dream of mine to do. Like when I started modeling, that's the only thing, like that was the top for me of like being a model. So I had
Right.
auditioned for the show twice before and I didn't book it. And then when I got it in 2012, I was like so happy. I remember my mom and my grandma were also actually visiting New York. So they were in my apartment with me and I got the call and it was just like so exciting. I started crying, and it's just, I looked up to so many of the previous angels in the past. So to be able to be on
Right.
that runway with them, and I never thought that I would actually be like on the runway with Adriana or like any of those girls. So to be able to be there with them was so special to me.
How did you prep for your very first show? I mean, the process of prepping the body, your mind, the soul, your heart. Tell us about that process about prepping for a major show like the VS Runway show.
So luckily I'm a pretty athletic person, and my
Yeah.
whole life growing up I played tons of sports. So I was always, working really hard on my body to like feel strong and like be the best that I could be. So the prep for the show, for my first one, I didn't have that much stress on me because I actually didn't know what to expect. It was the
Okay.
shows after that where I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do better and like be stronger and like make my butt look bigger. Like I was just like, there was so much more pressure on me to do that. But my first show, I kind of just like went with the flow and hoped for the best, hoped I didn't fall, and I loved my outfit, so that was really awesome. And I just kind of like I just went with the flow.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about some of the challenges you faced entering the industry, or if you had any challenges entering the industry.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's many challenges, I think, with anything that you dive into. And for modeling, I think for me, because I'm a Black model, it was really hard
Mhm.
for me to like, book certain shows or book certain campaigns, because when I started doing runway shows, there was always only one model of color on the runway. So it was either you know, one of the other girls or me. So like every casting I would go into, I'm like, well, it's either me or her. Like, let's see who gets it. So that was like a little bit of a struggle, but I have a very like strong head on my shoulders where I don't let anything like that really get me down, and it only pushed me to want to like do better and just like knock down different doors for like new girls coming in. So I think that was maybe the one challenge that I had.
Wow. No, I mean, you know, this talk of diversity, it's so trendy right now. But, you know, it's interesting that you've been fighting it all your life. You know, you've actually been there fighting the cause, talking for other girls, other Black models out there. What do you hope to inspire Black models out there, or girls that of color who want to try out modeling? I mean, I come from Singapore, from a multicultural society, predominantly Chinese here. But, you know, we've, you know, through the magazine, through, you know, our social channels, through our websites, we've actually, you know, opened the doors for a lot of models of color, you know, Indian models, Malay girls, just different girls. And, you know, just now I was just speaking to you, Sai, about how we were one of the first magazines to actually, you know, give you know, a Black model a cover because it was so unusual.
Yeah.
And, you know, what was really, really important to me as the editor of the magazine was, with this revamp, 19 years we've been in the market. You know, when I was talking to you, Sai, about it, it's really important to find the right, you know, model to represent the magazine. And you were our top choice.
Oh,
we went
thank you.
to all the girls and we were like, you know, we want Jasmine to be on the cover, to revamp, because it says so much more than you are stunning, you are beautiful, but you represent so much more to so many people. And the response from this cover that we have here of you, you know, to so many girls out there, that was incredible. And it was so positive. And I want to say that just by being on the cover, you've done so much for diversity already. And I want to hear your thoughts about it. You know, tell me your thoughts about how do you hope to widen it? Because you look perfect, you know, but there's so much talk about diversity. There's so much talk about models of different sizes and shapes and everything. So how do you hope to open that discussion?
Well, I just hope that, you know, with so much going on right now, I hope that this isn't just like a trend for people to, you know, start using more Black models. Like, I hope it's something that actually stays, because there's been, I mean, it's been for years where like you see like a cover of a magazine or a full campaign and it's like, you know, all white models and not any Black models. So I'm just like, it's so odd to me that it takes all this time until now for people to realize and people to like start speaking up about it, because it should be something that's so normal. And I get messages like since I started my Instagram of like girls from all over the world asking me, how are you so comfortable with your skin color? Like, you know, like I feel so bad with my skin tone. And I'm like, that is so bizarre to me, because I think my skin color and everyone's skin color is like the most beautiful thing out there. And I think my skin color is what makes me me. So if I can, you know, do more campaigns and do more covers and do more on my social media to let all the other young girls know out there that like it's beautiful to be this skin tone, then, you know, I will do whatever I can. And I think it's awesome that people are starting to realize, but it's also unfortunate that it took this long for people to realize that.
Right, right.